Good morning. Excellencies, President of Rotary International, Trustee Chair of the Rotary Foundation, distinguished guests and participants. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me at your historic convention today in Seoul, Korea. It is my honor to be here with you. You have come here this week from all over the world to share your ideas, to learn from each other, and consolidate the Rotary energy. I know you are keenly aware that you have been working on polio eradication for the last 3 decades. And I'm hoping to convince you to continue to contribute your ideas, your energy, abilities, and passion when you return home. I have the privilege today to share with you the incredible progress we have made together over the last 3 decades, highlight some of the key milestones achieved, and where we still need to stand together to achieve polio eradication. I have met a few of you here in different Rotary meetings and events around the world, and I'm always humbled by the positive force and commitment each one of you makes towards achieving this incredible goal. Today, I wish to share with you the achievements remaining and how together we will finish the job. Since developing Polio Plus in the Philippines, Rotary has remained at the forefront of the eradication efforts. Before the Global Polio Eradication Initiative began, polio was endemic in 125 countries and paralyzed over 350,000 children every year. Rotarians took action. Rotary brought the partners to the table to form the initiative in 1988 and keeps all of us going strong, never faltering. I always like to begin thinking with the end in mind. Rotary was the first with the vision, engaged key partners, and advocated with governments and communities to raise over $1.5 billion US and mobilized more than $7 billion US from the global public sector, all while working at the national and community and village level to ensure every child receives polio drops. In the last 3 decades, we have seen astonishing progress. Polio cases have declined worldwide by more than 99.9%. The virus is now found The virus is now found in the fewest places ever. We are closer to eradicating polio than we have been at any point in history. % of the world's population has now been certified polio-free. We are down to 2 countries with wild polio virus still circulating, Afghanistan and Pakistan, while Nigeria is approaching 2 years with no wild polio virus cases in August 2016. This map is the result of amazing progress in raising immunization coverage across Nigeria in some very difficult areas. In the lead up to the 2015 elections in Nigeria, we saw a drop in political commitment that could have led to a spiral and an increase in cases, as we have seen in previous elections. However, thanks to the engagement of communities, traditional leaders, and high-level officials by the Rotarians working at the community level, we did not see this so that every child did not have to be paralyzed. This is the impact of Rotarians. I want to say thank you for all of the work and efforts that you do. As a result of introducing innovations, engaging new partners, and continually improving strategies to reach every child who has been repeatedly missed with life-saving vaccine, the outbreaks of polio in the Middle East, the Horn of Africa, and Central Africa have been stopped. I want to celebrate with you for the first time ever the entire African region is approaching 2 years of being polio-free. The tireless work of so many, especially those at the front lines across the continent, is paying off. This progress is hard-won and still remains tentative. There is more to do to ensure these achievements are sustained forever and everywhere. There is no one better equipped to do this than the Rotarians. Today we have 4 out of the 6 regions of the World Health Organization certified polio-free. With Nigeria being removed from the list of polio-endemic countries, 3 endemic countries have now come down to 2. Wild poliovirus stubbornly clings in sanctuaries in Afghanistan and Pakistan, but we have seen progress. 54 cases in Pakistan in 2015 is a very different picture from the 306 cases in 2014. The 20 cases in Afghanistan in 2015 represented a decline from the 28 cases in 2014. So far in 2016, the number of cases in Pakistan and Afghanistan combined is only 16. This is less than the 25 cases that were reported this time last year. Just 3 years ago, one country was responsible for more than 50% of wild poliovirus cases, Nigeria. Many believed that Nigeria would be the last bastion of poliovirus. They were proven wrong. We need to keep up the momentum and sustain the gains of ensuring every child is reached. We are now down to 2 countries and 2 wild polioviruses. 3 viruses dropped to 2 upon the declaration of the eradication of wild poliovirus type 2 in September of 2015. The last case was in India in 1999. What's more, in November 2015, that marked 3 years since we have seen a case of wild poliovirus type 3. We are cautiously optimistic that this virus too has been defeated. This leaves just 1 target in 2 countries. 11 August 2016 will be the mark for 2 years free from wild poliovirus in Africa. We have seen a geographic narrowing of the polio sanctuaries in Pakistan as more children have been reached in the last 24 months since 2009. Since GPI was created, there have been 15 million cases of paralytic polio prevented and more than 500,000 deaths averted. Rotarians are truly the backbone of this extraordinary human endeavor, achieved only once to date with smallpox. As advocates, as volunteers, as donors, and as friends, the Polio Eradication Initiative is a testament to your collective power to influence and change the world. The eradication efforts work symbiotically with Rotary's 6 key areas of focus. In fighting polio, we are fighting disease. In promoting health, we are promoting peace. In vaccinating the world's children, we prevent poliovirus from polluting the water. And in preventing paralysis, we are saving children from a lifetime of disability. As we race towards the finish line, I want to talk to you not just about what Rotary has done for polio, but the effect your efforts have also had on many other health initiatives across the spectrum. By sharing the lessons learned and the capacity to build and create real and lasting change. It has been inspirational to other health initiatives and health goals. Rotarians everywhere have volunteered to bring vaccines to all children. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, Africa's progress has been achieved against the backdrop of the ongoing Ebola outbreak in Western Africa. The Ebola epidemic stopped children from being vaccinated. It weakened already challenged health systems, and it left people unprotected from polio and from other life-saving interventions. I am so proud to say that thanks to the bravery and resilience of polio staff on the front lines, like these surveillance officers shown here in Sierra Leone, GPEI was able to help by using our knowledge and practices in mobilizing communities, in detecting diseases and cases, transporting samples and testing them in laboratories. All of the knowledge and skills we have honed since 1988 with the engagement and support of Rotary. Ladies and gentlemen, the Polio Plus world today is very different from that of just 12 months ago. Today we are much closer to achieving eradication. Last year, critical milestones were achieved, but I must use this opportunity to speak with you about the most powerful champions of polio eradication and tell you about the challenges that still pose a risk to achieving this goal. All of you here in this room hold the answers, can develop the tools, and most importantly, have the unwavering commitment to conquer these challenges. I want to address three things with you today, with the hope that you will be the driving force behind them to end polio for good. These are poliovirus remaining in Pakistan and Afghanistan. 2, progress across the African continent. And 3, sustaining strong surveillance. In 2014, 85% of the polio cases worldwide were in Pakistan, with the highest case count they had had in over a decade. While everywhere else in the world, we were able to push the virus out, in Pakistan, it was strengthening its hold. For nearly half a year now, the government and all of the partners have been working diligently to push the virus out for good. The focus has shifted from the children reached to children not reached, using innovative ways to reach them. There has been a dramatic increase in government commitment at all levels, thanks in large part to the work of Rotarians who demanded accountability to know the unreached had finally been reached. The recent progress in Pakistan and Afghanistan is very promising. While both countries still have virus circulating, we have seen stronger cooperation between the two governments at all of the levels. Children crossing the borders are now vaccinated regularly, and surveillance data are being shared across the borders. This is the only way we will see these two countries achieve polio-free status. The recruitment of the female community volunteers in high-threat areas has led to a major breakthrough. These female volunteers are vaccinating in their own communities and reaching an increasing number of children who previously had been missed. They are the heroes. Rotary's Polio Plus work in these communities will be essential to keep the momentum in the coming months as we enter the polio high season. We need to keep the government commitment high to deliver vaccines to every child. I want to recognize the Rotarians in Pakistan for their work to date and know they will continue. Success in Afghanistan is dependent largely on the progress in Pakistan. But the country has pockets of children not reached, as well as insecure areas. Children are still being paralyzed as vaccines are not getting everywhere, and the virus consistently threatens to cross the border. The virus knows no border. We need to stay vigilant here, as this is where the door will finally close on polio. Every day and every month matters. We need everyone to work together to protect the children and give them the future they deserve. Polio vaccine and achieving eradication are the ultimate gifts. The initiative just completed one of its most ambitious undertakings since being established, and it's due to the tremendous work by countries building on what they have done for polio eradication to date. With the eradication of type 2 poliovirus, 155 countries around the world conducted a global synchronized switch. For 2 weeks this past April, countries pulled the trivalent oral polio vaccine, or OPV, from their shelves of all of their health facilities and replaced it with bivalent oral polio vaccine, which contains types 1 and 3. This will help ensure that the rare event of vaccine virus reverting to cause paralysis will be prevented, as type 2 accounted for 90% of these cases. In addition to switching to bivalent oral polio vaccine, countries will also introduce 1 dose of inactivated polio vaccine into their immunization programs to boost immunity in children. Planning for the switch and introducing a dose of inactivated polio vaccine has provided an opportunity to strengthen immunization programs around the world. In Bangladesh, for example, before IPV was introduced, a cascade of improvements in the entire immunization system occurred. The cold chain was reevaluated, vaccine stocks were secured, healthcare workers were provided further training, and influential leaders advocated for immunization. After we see the last case of wild poliovirus, our job is not finished. We will still need to ensure hundreds of millions of children are still vaccinated against polio over the next couple of years. We will need to heighten our surveillance to detect any and all viruses in the absence of disease. Additionally, a number of functions will need to be sustained after eradication is achieved, and GPEI is working with governments and other programs to identify the means of support for these activities. Planning for the transition is the 4th objective of the Endgame Strategic Plan. The objective is to ensure that the investments made to eradicate polio contribute to other health goals, such as ensuring countries can detect and respond to any public health event in a rapid and coordinated manner, and achieving other elimination goals such as measles. Documenting the lessons learned, as we heard before with Michael McGovern's session, and mapping the valuable assets at the country and global levels are critical. I did not mention that there are still many challenges to finishing polio, and I'd like to mention them now. We have managed to overcome many with the focus on local solutions. These challenges threaten the ultimate goal of wiping polio off the face of the earth. Keeping polio workers motivated and safe are key to achieving the goal. Communicating and engaging with communities, leaders, and governments on the importance of vaccinating against polio and not missing a single child is critical to reaching every child. Addressing the fears, misconceptions, and cultural concerns must be done in an appropriate way, engaging those who work and live in the communities. Using data for rapid action and providing information on performance back to all of the polio workers and local and national leaders is important to maintain quality and accountable programs. Insecurity does remain a challenge, which requires strong skills in negotiation and working with new partners to deliver vaccines while keeping all polio workers safe from harm. Lastly, the financial resources to achieve polio eradication require another US $1.5 billion. And every year that we do not finish and achieve this goal, it will cost about another $800 million to keep the world safe from polio. We must achieve eradication. Ladies and gentlemen, to summarize, there has been incredible progress. However, the world remains at risk with wild poliovirus circulating in Afghanistan and Pakistan. We need to strengthen our ability to detect all viruses and reduce the risk of outbreaks through vaccination, sustain the strong advocacy with leaders and key stakeholders, and ensure credible oversight of the program, while planning on how to leverage and build from the polio assets. As Bill Gates said, Rotary is the heart and soul of polio eradication. With you, the world might not have started down the road, this path and the journey we have taken. You have played a key role in proving that it can be the reality for our future, and you are the engine driving eradication. Rotary engages communities everywhere. Rotarians on the ground have worked to find local solutions to problems. You have been vaccinators, educators, fundraisers, and champions with political leaders. Rotarians also engage civil society, which is a key partner in the effort to achieve eradication in some of the most difficult areas. You have also engaged political leaders to sustain commitment when it needs a boost or is faltering. You are influential. Rotary engages the partners as well from the very beginning. In Ukraine last year, it was Rotary that brought together partners, politicians, civil society, and scientists to address the outbreak response and vaccine safety, to reach the many unreached children in the Ukraine. We are down to the last cases of polio. We have seen the last cases in the Americas, Europe, Southeast Asia, Western Pacific, and we are this close in Africa. As with smallpox, we want to see the last global case of polio and know that future generations will not have to be threatened by poliovirus. What a gift. There are other diseases with eradication goals. Guinea worm eradication had 22 cases in 2015. Future goals include measles and rubella. They share one goal, eradication, and we can use our lessons learned and polio assets to look into the horizon and set the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, I need each of you to continue to advocate and engage with your political leaders and key individuals with your strong, influential Rotary voice and passion, so that all of our stakeholders will continue to commit to funding the final steps of polio. We need to close the $1.5 billion gap. I know you will stand in solidarity with your fellow Rotarians in Afghanistan and Pakistan as they work tirelessly to defeat the virus and ensure the security of all polio workers. I need you as well to use your powerful Rotarian voice to protect the gains in Nigeria, because if the focus is lost, it is the children who will pay the price. We can and must build off what polio has created and strengthened, so that countries can protect their populations from diseases and achieve other elimination and eradication goals. And I need you to keep on educating and engaging communities and the global community on this worthy and incredible endeavor that you started over 30 years ago. The momentum must be sustained until we can know no more children will be paralyzed by polio virus. Thank you.